So if you watched our live video last Saturday, I talked about 3 bar stools that I accidentally bought at the thrift store for $5 each. Today we're going to show you all the steps it takes to get them ready to put into our shop.
So we're going to start out by cleaning them. It looks like they've got some sort of milk or something on here.
Jam.
Some kids really love them. I've just got warm soapy water. It's Dawn degreasing dish soap and a wet rag, and that'll get off pretty much whatever we might have had issues with. Alright, so since these are solid wood, we're going to go ahead and rinse them off with the hose. If they were like a piece of furniture, like a dresser that was fiberboard or MDF, you wouldn't want to hose it down. You just want to use the damp rag to rinse it off. These stools have a lot of kind of areas where I don't want to sand. It would take me a long time to even just buff each stool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Fairy Chalk Mother High Bond Primer. We just did a video on painting laminate. I'll go ahead and put the card in there for that so you guys can check that one out if you need to. But it's a really great primer. It sticks to everything really well. We haven't found anything it doesn't stick to yet. And it'll make the finish on these bar stools really durable. So I've mixed the High Bond up in my spray. This is just a central pneumatic HVLP that we get from Harbor Freight. And I mix it up the same way that I do the Fairy Chalk Mother paint and the DIY paint. I've done 3 parts primer to 1 part water.
Okay, so the High Bond is all dry. We didn't do full coverage, we just did a tap coat, giving our surface enough grip so the paint sticks really well. On things that are super shiny or high use like kitchen bar stools, High Bond primer is always a good idea. Do remember to wear a mask and do it in a well ventilated area because it is a primer. It is not an all natural no VOC product. This primer makes your paint stick really well. It is not a stain blocker because it is water based, so if you have any bleed through or areas where you feel like you're gonna have stains come through, hit those with shellac. I'm going to be painting these with Fairy Chalk Mother in Harbor, and so I'm not super concerned with bleed through. I think most everything will be covered by the paint. Before I grab my mask, I'm going to tell you that it's 3 parts paint to 1 part warm water. We've shaken it really well to mix it up, and now we're going to go ahead and spray it on here. We've got a full video on chalk paint spraying, so we'll put that link above in case you have more questions.
It's kind of a best practice to spray nice even lines across your piece so that you don't get any overlapping or anything. But I'm going to show you, you don't have to be perfect at this, and chalk paint's pretty forgiving. As long as you get full coverage, it's not really going to matter. That one's a little drier, but they look the same. There's no difference. As long as you're not getting runs and drips, you'll be okay.
Okay, so we're going to be using our orbital sander made by DeWalt with 220 sandpaper. I'm going to get my mask on. I'm going to go all around the edges, and because this has some definition in the seat, I'm also going to go over the flat surface to add some age.
Jamie wants these to be numbered, so in an effort to practice, I've got my Prismacolor Premier. They've been my favorite markers so far, and I'm just going to number them 1, 2, 3 right on the back here. Alright, these numbers are looking pretty stark. Some 220 grit, Just a foam sanding block. So I've got Sweet Pickins top coat loaded up in the hopper here. It's my favorite sealer to spray. It dries almost kind of matte instead of having like a sheen to it. So it looks almost like the paint doesn't have a sealer on it, which is what we're going for. It's a real good farmhouse look. You can find the sealer at our website at jamirayvintage.com. Just search top coat and it'll pop right up. Alright, these bar stools are finally...
You have like spray from your mask. It's like white right here, right here. And it's kind of in your mustache.
Well, I showed today.
I know it's in your non-existent. It's good enough.
Alright.
And there's some on your ear, but that's okay.
Some on my ear. I got paint all over me. Let's go.
Alright, so these bar stools turned out super cute. The paint is like stuck on there really well. That High Bond primer is magic. For high use or shiny pieces, it's a definite must under all your like DIY chalk paint. I wouldn't use it under milk paint unless you don't want the milk paint to chip.
Yeah, if you use it under milk paint, if you use it under milk paint, it's not coming off.
Yeah, for sure. And recommended by the manufacturer, you're supposed to brush it on, not water it down, but we water it down and haven't had any problems with it, so.
Yep, the link's in the video, so make sure you watch that if you want to know how to brush. You could obviously brush the bar stools with the paint as well. You don't have to spray it, but it's hot outside, it's summertime. We're gonna probably be spraying most pieces until it gets cold again and we have to come back inside and the garage gets cold, so.
Well, and chairs and bar stools are a pain in the bum to brush. They're so much easier to spray. So if you haven't jumped the gun, literally, and got yourself a spray gun, and the air compressor, really consider it. We use the Harbor Freight purple gun for our chalk and DIY paint, and then we use the little Critter for milk paint, and it works pretty good. We also use it for our sealer. So if you guys have any friends that enjoy DIY, be sure to share this video, and make sure to click subscribe, the notifications, and then when it gives you options, click see all. That way you never miss a video or when we go live on Saturday nights.
Also, no mocking my hand-lettered numbers. I'm practicing.
We'll have some close-ups of though. I actually think they turned out pretty darn good.
They were in the wrong spot. She wanted them higher, but I just went all willy-nilly, and then she came and she's like, what is that? But I distressed it and it made everything better.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good. People always ask, so we paid $5 each for these bar stools, and painted and sealed, I will sell the set of 3 for $225. Every area is different. I don't always get them for $5, but that's still a great deal because for someone to purchase these bar stools at a retail store, it's gonna cost them $225. Sorry.
$150.
If somebody was gonna purchase these bar stools at a retail store, it would cost about $150. So they're still getting a great deal.
$150 per bar stool.
Oh, sorry. If somebody was gonna purchase these at a new retail store, they'd spend about $150 per bar stool. So they're still getting a great deal, and they've got a super cute, one-of-a-kind finish.
Yeah, I put a lot of love into these chairs.
For the products we used today, be sure to go to jamirayvintage.com. We used High Bond primer. We used High Bond primer, Fairy Chalk Mother in Harbor, and then we used Sweet Pickins top coat. Zeb used his Prisma color markers to do the freehand numbers, so he'll put the link for Amazon below for that.
All right, take us home.
Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY. I was ready today.
Good job.